Each one of those numbers represents people whose lives have been changed forever. Hard Copy has been out on the front lines of the firestorm, and we'd like you to meet some of the people we met. These men are prisoners, all convicted criminals, the kind of people society likes to tuck away and forget about. But this time we need to remember them not as convicts, but as people, as they remember their comrades who died, not doing something bad, but something very, very good.
People picture an inmate and a prisoner as something wrong and bad and that, but those people, they were gods.
In Payson, Arizona, brush fires raged out of control. Lives and property were threatened. A crew of inmate firefighters from Perryville State Prison went to battle the flames. 5 inmates and their supervisor would die in that fire.
I was just coming up on the crew when I was separated from them by a wall of fire.
You turn around and you look and there's a 250-foot wall of flames coming at you. You're scared to death.
The firefighter program at Perryville has been a big success for the state of Arizona. Only prisoners who show good behavior and work hard are allowed into the program. But as much as fighting fires, what is important for these men is a chance to fight for their self-esteem.
I've done 18 years in prison, and this is the only time, this is the only program, this is the only time I've ever done anything constructive.
James Denny was in jail on a burglary conviction. He died when he went back into the inferno to try to rescue the corrections officer. Being a firefighter had given Denny a sense of purpose.
I think the first time in his life that he felt like he was a real person and doing something that was, you know, worthwhile. And I think he was ready to come out on the outside and make a go of it.
Also lost in the fire were corrections officers Sandra Bachman, 24-year-old Curtis Springfield, 25-year-old Joseph Chacon, Alex Contreras, and James Ellis. Ellis was scheduled for release this week.
I've heard a lot of people talking that they're criminals, but they were loving and caring people. They cared about people.
As a child, Curtis Springfield always loved his art, but then came drug addiction and his conviction for assault. But recently, Kurt started sending pictures home again. The firefighting program had helped turn him around.
He was doing something that was productive, like I say, and he wasn't, you know, it wasn't self-destructive anymore. He was turning himself around. He was becoming quite a young man. He really was.
During frequent visits to prison, Kurt and his parents would talk of his future and the wonderful Christmas they would all share when he was released. Last Tuesday, the fire put an end to those dreams.
My son is a hero. Kurt didn't have a mean bone in his body, and he died doing something good. Nothing will ever bring him back. He died, my only son died doing something good.
Like Absalom, Kurt got off the track a few years ago. I hardly need remind you of the sacrifices made by this young man, this fallen comrade of some of you. Sacrifices made a number of times during the 2 years of fighting forest fires, and now this week, the ultimate sacrifice.
I'll never forget any of the guys that were on fire crew with me, especially those who died. We love them. We're sorry. We tried.
I don't know you, but I love you all.
I wish that people would forget what their backgrounds are. We haven't asked the other firefighters what their backgrounds are. They came out here to do a job, and they gave their life for us. I think all that we can say is thank you very much from the bottom of our heart.
The Arizona Department of Corrections is allowing the inmates to go to all 6 funerals, wearing no cuffs, no shackles, no chains. The only running these men will be doing is to the next brush fire that breaks out, where they'll fight side by side like free men in proud memory of their fallen comrades.
One of the scariest parts of this year's fire season is that it began in June, much earlier than what is considered normal, and that it began with such intensity. Combined with the drought and heat, that has fire officials praying for the end of summer and the return of the wet season.